Hi, I'm Darren Gordon, Managing Director of Centaurus Metals. Back in July this year, we put out a feasibility study for the Jaguar nickel sulfide project. It showed really strong economics, looking at about producing 18,500 tonnes of nickel per year. Importantly for us, it was about the operating costs. We wanted to demonstrate to the market that we were a low operating cost environment, and the study was able to do that. We're looking at under $3.60 per pound of nickel for our operating costs, which means in the current market, we'll be always in the market once we're actually producing. Combined with that, we think the capital intensity of the project is a pretty good one at just on $370 million US to get the project built, and we should be looking to get into production sort of by the end of 2027. Ultimately, the project economics demonstrated that the project would have a net present value of close to $1 billion Australian dollars, which when you put it against the backstop of what our current market capitalisation is, it does create a very strong investment proposition for those looking at nickel exposure. We do think that this project is going to be able to compete with Indonesia nickel supply all day, every day, and I think that's probably one of the biggest pieces of the puzzle that we've got to put today. We are running a strategic partnering process. That's been a step coming on the back of the feasibility study. And that work is now moving into a next phase, or a phase 2 of that work, with a bunch of groups that are looking at the project. So whilst the equity markets have been a little bit challenging for nickel, the strategic interest is still very strong in nickel and also in the Jaguar project. From a licensing perspective, Jaguar is well advanced. In Brazil, you have a 3-stage process. Initially, you need to get a preliminary license. We have that. We received that earlier in 2024. And we're in the final phases of what we think will be the installation license. Once we have that installation license, we'll be in a position to be able to build the project in conjunction with the formal grant of the mining lease. So when you look at approvals in Brazil, it's always been considered to be a little bit challenging, but I would sort of suggest that we have a very strong handle on our licensing process. Jaguar is very advanced from a licensing, and we don't see it as any impediment to getting our project built. The mining lease part of that is a flow-on to the installation license, and that will come probably in the first quarter of next year. We've probably got 2 out of 3 knocked off as far as making a final investment decision. The third piece of that puzzle is obviously getting the funding piece coming out of the strategic partnering process. I think also importantly, from a social perspective, we're doing a huge amount of work in the local community. There's very strong community support for Jaguar. The municipality where we're based, called Tucumã, has been, spoilt a little bit recently by having Aero Copper building its Boa Esperança project, only 40 kilometres away from where we're looking to build Jaguar. And that's created a lot of skilled people coming into the local workforce. It means that we and them are going to benefit enormously from the amount of mining activity that's going on. One of the big aspects of work that we're doing is local training for construction. So there's training programs that go on every 6 months. We're going to do that progressively over time, and we've seen a lot of benefit come out of that already. When you look at the community, they really are looking for new mining projects to get up and running, and we think that the business model that we've got, the longevity of Jaguar, is going to put us in a great position to be able to support that local community over a long period of time. As far as what do we do now, we're running through a phase of value engineering work. That value engineering should be finished towards the end of February next year. We think that that's going to only improve on the economics that we've already put into the market with the feasibility study. Some of that's related to how we do the mine plan, some of that's related to the process flow sheet, and ultimately the product that we're looking to produce. We're trying to get a higher grade nickel concentrate out, which will mean that we'll have significant savings from a logistics perspective, and in turn, which is going to be environmentally favourable by having less trucks on the road over a longer period of time. So fingers crossed that all comes together in a timely fashion. That rolls into the funding. So there should be a long list of milestones to be ticked off as we move through the next few months. All of that culminates in us being super excited about what's ahead of us. There's so much to do, but so much excitement amongst the group to get this project to the finish line and up and running into production.